What's going on, world of YouTube? And welcome to my 100 calendar days review of Account PA 94 Apex Trader funded account. Before we get into that, however, I'll go ahead and start Grok so that it's running in the background, and then we can cover the rest of the areas for today's video. I want to make sure it gets started. Okay, there we go. So it's starting to think. All right, so we'll come back to this when we look at the performance, and I'll go through the prompt as well as the stuff that is attached. But to begin with, we're going to start with my own personal review, looking at the standard stats that I typically do. And so we'll just leave Grok running on the side so we can keep an eye on it until I need that space. The zoomed in view. So as mentioned, it's been 100 calendar days. That was actually July 16th. So that's why I've got this rounded up to July 16th. First trade was actually taken on 4/6. I'll come back to that. That's kind of interesting. The majority of my trades have been on the M&Q. There are a few NQ trades, but you can count them. So the 28th, the 29th, and the 11th. And from the 18th onwards, I then switched, or I didn't switch over, but those are the only 3 days that I traded the NQ. So the vast majority is the point are MAQs, as you can see. Not sure why the symbol name, or the way the symbol display, not sure why that changed randomly around this time frame. Oh, different contract, Q versus, M versus U, duh. Anyway, and then, so then taking it all the way to the 16th. So the 4/6 was actually an interesting day. It's a Sunday to begin with, but I think there must have been something going on. So I traded that Sunday market open, which is something I typically don't do, and especially not with a brand new account. And that stretched from, 3 o'clock, I was trading, took a break, and then came back again in the evening around 9 o'clock and traded to about $9:30, and then the next morning started again at 10:40 and traded until about noon, it would appear. But what's interesting about that is the performance. Let's take a look at that. If we go back to, let's just make sure this is showing. Oh, yeah, it is. Streaming correctly, rather. So if we go back to that day, which is, say, April 7th, I had a terrific start. Bringing in a total of 5K on the day, and very healthy stats. Decent winners versus losers, but yeah, generally happy with the profit factor and the win-loss ratio in particular. However, what this implied was that my 30% consistency, or the 30% consistency rule, now meant that my profit target needed to be 15K. Can't remember what it actually is for the account. So that meant obviously you just have to trade a lot longer to build up that account. That's an interesting factoid regarding the start. to trading this account 100 days ago. Looks like Grok is still doing his thing. I'm just going to keep, checking in on it and, keeping an eye on it. You don't know. Don't know anything, Oh, I can't remember if I went through the stats, but yeah, so 2.11 profit factor, 4.28 win-loss ratio. I'm happy with both of those numbers. The annoyance for the profit factor really is just how much you're giving back in terms of quantity. So made 50 but gave back 23, so I'm ending up with half. Yeah, so I think there's obviously clearly areas for improvement with the loss or the volume in terms of losses. The quantity in terms of trades that I'm losing isn't bad in relationship to the number of winners. In fact, I'd say it's actually very good. I've got a lot of winners and very few losers. But what this is saying is that when I do lose, I lose quite a bit. Obviously not as bad as the max drawdown, but when we look at the chart, I imagine we'll see, there's probably too many losses that are too large, which will be obvious here on a scale of 2,000 and 4,000. The majority of them you probably won't even see. They might have just simply break even. So that should be very easy to spot on the chart as we switch to that. I think that's it in terms of the statistics. So yeah, picking up with the chart, so very happy with the strong start. So yeah, a couple of these larger losses here. I think there might be maybe just over $2,000. It's those kinds of issues, those kinds of repeated events. This whole period looks like it wasn't particularly great. And this is where I hit the max drawdown. So this entire period, I imagine, would have affected. It's one trading day, really. Yeah, it's one trading day, but I imagine that had a pretty significant impact on the numbers. But yeah, these kinds of dips is really kind of what we're talking about, getting those to be more managed, smaller type dips. And then more plateaus, more flats, winning large with these larger bits, these larger dips, as you can clearly see. Yeah, nice, healthy, strong trends. I had a little bit of a dip here, but more of it is kind of a stronger move upward with smaller, barely obvious, barely noticeable dips. All right. And that is all that I have to say in terms of my own personal review. So yeah, just gotta wait on Grok to finish up its thing. It is doing stuff, so that's good. Oh, while we're waiting, I guess I should go ahead and talk about what this is all about, I guess. That works out. So what I've done is I've prompted Grok with a specific prompt. And what I've done is attached a screenshot of the statistics on the right, just the table, stretching all the way to include the averages, as well as the log file from the trades below, not below this, on the right. So the trade log plus the same image, the same thing we're basically looking at on the screen minus the chart, plus this prompt is what I'm having it work through. So let's go ahead and read through the prompt so you get an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. So the idea is here, I'm asking, well, I'll just read it to you. Grok, You're an experienced and highly successful NASDAQ future scalper on short time frames. You also have decades of experience analyzing and identifying strengths and weaknesses in other scalpers by reviewing their performance statistics and trade logs. So, review the attached stats screen clip and detailed trades log, and give me your detailed analysis spanning popular trading KPIs and performance monitoring statistics. Further, use a large volume of data in the trades log file to find patterns, recurring behaviors, and any other anomalies or noteworthy observations to include in your recommendations of areas to improve versus areas to keep performing versus behaviors to stop, and KPIs across each. Conclude with a concise summary and 3 specific actions to focus on next for the upcoming 3 months. So that's what it's working on. It is planning the data processing. Code will help calculate KPIs like win rate, average win and loss, plus identify patterns and anomalies. So, all right. So that took a total of 17 minutes for it to get through and get all of its thinking done. Do a quick scan through. Actually, just copy the whole thing first. Oh, it's still going. So let's just let it do its thing. So it's a detailed analysis. You got KPIs, nice table, patterns, recurring behaviors, anomalies, observations from the trade log in specific. Good. No review observations. There's recommendations across the 3 different areas, the concise summary, and that's 3 specific actions. Nice, excellent. So what I'm going to do with that is to come over to Word and use Microsoft Copilot to rewrite and reformat the text I'm about to paste in here to be easy to read and comprehend. I'm asking it to use different font sizes, colors, tables, lists, and more to visually enhance the content to aid comprehension. So that's the full text. Don't need the disclaimer. All right, and we'll let that do its thing. It's apparently creating a draft. Okay. While that's happening, and we'll go back and look at that in a second, I'm also going to have Grok, as mentioned initially. We'll get Grok to give us a performance grade as well. And we'll come back and look at that. We'll kick it off so we can run it that parallel. All right, so we'll let it go ahead and give me a grade. using hopefully its experienced specific knowledge, and on a grade scale of A to F, and then use plus and minuses to get some additional granularity to that. So that's gonna do its thing. And let's go. What's going on over here? Why is it all blue? Let's get rid of the no color. Okay, good. I can zoom in a little bit. It looks like, yeah. So reviewing these steps. So the round trip trades, it says it's kind of an aggregate of the two. So over 1,000 trades. The total order 3,000. I don't know what that means. Yeah, so just about 100 trading days. What's this? No idea what this is all about. The HTML. In any case, so the high win rate of 81%. The same stats we saw before around the profit factor. Hang on, what's going on with Grok? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, great, got a B+. All right. Come back and look at that in a second. Instead, let's have both stats running side by side. That'll be useful. So win-loss ratio 4.28. This is the problem where the average winners are larger, 2x than the average winners. So this is priority number one. Get that down, as I was talking about earlier, and then priority number two is use scaling to get that up. Given the high win rate, that shouldn't be difficult. So that way you basically increase your expectancy by the expectancy per trade rather. Don't know why this net profit differs to what was on to the 24,972. Max drawdown is the same. And this, I think this is from the trades log. I can't remember now. And then, yeah, I do trade a lot, so I don't know if that's something that will. I'd have to do a deeper dive to see is that when do these high frequency trades occur? So that's something that I should look to follow up on. Because if it's predominantly during down days, then fixing those down days will fix the high frequency. Anyway, yeah, so that's that. So the recommendations. It's not perfect formatting. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. Anyway. So yeah, so forecasting isn't that great, but anyway. So obviously keep the high win rate and streak management, limit buying on dips, very smart. It was able to work out. That's something I do. Yeah, so keep the discipline and frequency. So it's okay with my 30 plus trades, but yes, I'm doing it in small contract sizes. So that's something to keep an eye out on. And then quick recovery from losses. So that you saw in the stats as well in terms of the high recovery factor. I think that's what that is as well. Risk management, we just talked about that. Use one cancel, or that would be, I think I've tried that on Quanttower. It doesn't allow me to do that. The position sizing, this is an interesting one. Sometimes I do get kind of outside. So this is definitely a very important one to work on immediately. Things to stop. Oversizing on outlier trades. I mean, this would be identifying what outlier trades are, so I need to investigate that some more. Overnight, well, no, prop firms don't allow this, so this is not even a doable. Yeah, over trading. I mean, that's, again, I want to look at what kind of days does this happen on the most. So the summary strengths are high mean reversion rate, win rate, strong recovery, weaknesses. Okay, this is basically what we, yeah, basically disciplined dip buying with some risky ally behavior, which is, I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. So yeah, looking at the contracts, I like this one. I like this one. It's a good one. Trading using less market orders and more limit orders. So that spur of the moment, just adding to a position, adding this is very interesting. I like this. Enforce daily close rule. Yeah, well, this is undo that anyway. I don't know what this is. Anyway, so some useful stuff in there for sure. That was good. And so let's flip back to Grok, where I was awarded a B+. Do I need this anymore? I don't think I do. So let's close this down as well. Anyway, back to Grok. So give me a B+. The performance earns B+. This scalping strategy. It's a solid, profitable approach that's above average for high frequency trading, driven by an exceptional 81% in rate, profit factor 2.11. Demonstrate effective entry timing, mean reversion tactics, and volatile short time frames. Interesting. Don't understand a lot of that, but okay, that's what I'm doing. However, it's not an A-level elite performance. Things that the average loss twice. Yep, call that one out. Yeah, it's giving me crap about the OCOs, but then my system can't handle that, so that's fine. The overtrading on high volume days. Well, obviously I don't know what that means, high volume. I mean, the reason why you get high volume, if I'm doing 139 is because I'm overtrading. High volume days would be interesting if it's high volume in the market, or anyway. So this is one to explore over time. Be aware of that one. Okay, so that's affecting my Sharpe ratio. I'm not sure what that is, but it's good, but not outstanding. Which is fact. I mean, I see this a lot, that the approach does limit my ability to scale. All right, good. So with some of these improvements, the A- is a clear opportunity, and that's what I've got the upcoming opportunities for. So every 8 days I can do the withdrawals, of course. The 16th was the most recent one. Just done 100 calendar days, but there's also 100 trading days that we'll look at, that I will hit on August 27th. In terms of the number of days I've traded myself on this account, it's been 43 so far. I think right now there's been 69 total trading days. But when I hit 100 days traded myself, that I'm not sure about. So that's a TBD. But for the next good 6 weeks, I'm just going to focus on trading as many of the available trading days as I can. I'm traveling a bit. I got other responsibilities of stuff that I'm doing, but I'm pretty convinced that I'm pretty confident rather that I can get the days in. So it's a disciplined consistency target worth working towards. And I believe that was all that I wanted to cover. So I hope that all went well. And as I said, we'll be doing these recurring with Grok. So look to get better and better at them. And with that done, I'll call it, and I'll be back on Monday trading. Peace.
You got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. It's over. I call it the dark room, where you're alone. Your goals, your purpose, everything will start lining up. And then you'll find the courage to start that journey for you to find greatness in yourself. You're not going to find it by looking in a book or by even hearing me. I may give you the spark, but you got to go inside yourself to find it. And that means you got to be quiet. Shut the fuck up, go in a room, stop talking, search your soul, search your mind, search your abilities, and you'll find it. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, you go to bed with it, eventually you're going to act on it. Whether good or bad, you have to face that in that dark room. In that dark room is who you are. But in that dark room is where you have to create another human being that walks out of that dark room to face who you are. That's the only way you're going to get over all those things. You have to create someone else. When you really sit back at your life and you're in that dark room and you're looking at where you started and then you put a goal, how are you going to feel when you accomplish this goal?